Back to the journey. I am just pulling out of getting gas. I am on my way to Kansas, and like I told everybody, I do a live stream today, and I figured I'd go ahead and Monkey's not wearing his seatbelt, so that's why that bell's ringing. My seatbelt has one of the fake seatbelt clips in it, so mine doesn't beep. But let me get here on the highway. And then we're gonna get into, like the title said, life. Get the camera fixed a little bit better so it's not bouncing around on me. Bouncing around on you guys. But there are some things that I've had comments on over the years. For those of you that don't know, I've been having my channel since 2016 is when I created it. I decided to create a YouTube channel as a private channel. Nothing was public. It was basically to document what I was doing with my life, the hardships that happened to me back in 2011, everything like that. And so that way, when I get older, since my great-grandmother had dementia and my grandfather had dementia and Alzheimer's, that if I got to that point in my life, then hopefully a video could somewhat trigger memories in my life where, like the Notebook, the guy read the journal over and over and over, and she would come out of it every once in a while for those few minutes. I figured maybe watching a video of myself in the future, that could snap me out of it if that ever happened to me. And then my family wanted to see what was going on because all my family lives back east, and so I had to make it public. And then once I made the channel public, then people slowly started filtering in, subscribing, watching, commenting, trying to help me out and things like that, and it's grown to where it is. And that's the thing in life, you know, we all make our own choices, we all have our own regrets. And we try not to be jealous or have jealousy over others. And that's some of those comments I got over the years, and I still get the comments on Facebook and here on YouTube on how people are jealous of what I have and they wish they had what I have. And you know, I've been jealous of other channels and stuff like that, because at one point I was hearing how people were making good money on YouTube with their channels, but they had to be big channels and everything like that. And I wanted to grow big. Well, at that point when I was looking at growing big, I looked into how these other channels were 100,000 subscribers, million subscribers, so on and so forth. And a lot of them, they joined these multi-marketing groups or chats or something like that, and you pay an enormous fee, like 40% of your income goes to whatever person that started that group, and they advertise your channel and do everything like that. Now yes, 60% is better than nothing, but you know, why do you just want to give your money away to somebody else? So I decided not to go that way. I decided to just keep documenting my life and my journey, and whoever wants to be part of the ride, they're part of the ride. And I've had people comment to me that, you know, wish they had what I had, but you also got to look, everything's not as what it seems all the time. You know, yes, I live an amazing life. I've had a lot of hardships in my life. I've had a lot of sadness in my life. I've had a lot of downsides in my life. And that's like right now, you know, I'm living in a shed, which most people don't want to live in a shed. They're not willing to give up a nice comfy house to live in a shed. I don't have running water. A lot of people can't live without running water. I don't have electricity or a solar system right now. So a lot of people can't deal with that. I don't have a refrigerator. I don't have a freezer. I don't have any of the luxuries that most people live with. So yes, I live a great life, but you have to be willing to sacrifice. So until my ranch sells, you know, I have to tough it out. I have to rough it out, and I have to do what I have to do until I had the money to be able to do that. Not only that, I'm $160,000 in debt. Everybody sees, yes, I have a tractor, I have horse trailer, I have flatbed trailer, I have the side-by-side, I have all this different stuff, but people aren't looking at how much debt I'm into. You know, I have a loan against the tractor, I have a loan against the side-by-side, I have a loan against the 120 acres that I just bought. Good morning, Ridge Life. How's it in Texas? In Tennessee. Did you guys wake up to that cold weather? We were 26 degrees when I left the homestead, and it looks like next week that polar vortex from the northeast is actually coming down, along with north of us through Iowa, a Canadian front's coming down. So we're supposed to be in the 30s for the next whole week. Like I said, 26 this morning when I left. Yeah, right now I'm in Missouri. It's 35 degrees. I'm about halfway to Kansas. So, but hey Sandra, how you doing over on the other side of the pond? How's your weather out there? But we gotta look. Don't be jealous of other channels. Don't be jealous of other people's clothes, other people's houses, cars, etc., because you don't know the circumstances they're in. You know, somebody could be driving around in a Lamborghini and be $200,000 in debt, just like me, $160,000 in debt. Everything's got loans against it. I'm willing to be in debt, paying the interest, because it affords me to live the lifestyle that I can live, because I can afford the payments that I have to make. So yes, I'll pay a lot more over a lifetime of all my loans than if I bought things outright. But who's got $14,000 to buy a camel, or $135,000 to drop on 120 acres of forest land and things like that? You know, that's what payments are for, and that's what I've decided in life to do. You know, I made the payments in order to live the lifestyle I want to live. And a lot of us say, oh, I want to live the homesteading life. I want to have a bunch of animals, doing good, weather wet, still in lockdown. Oh yes, lockdown is never a good thing. That's one thing I love about Arkansas. We don't have the lockdowns like Colorado has. We don't have the people complaining about the mask all the time. I can go to a restaurant and there's people sitting at the bar having fun, chatting, out on the smoke decks. Can't do any of that stuff in Colorado when I was back there. Might have changed, but when I was there, it wasn't fun. So I'm not a drinker, I'm not a smoker, but to see people living a normal life and going to a steakhouse and seeing birthday parties still happening, that's what I enjoy. And Arkansas is not a lockdown place like most states and countries. But we all need to choose our life. If you want a homestead, if you want a bunch of animals, if you want to be out on the beach, you should do it. Do whatever it takes, because we only live this one life, and you never know how long you're here. I mean, look how many people die as babies, or die as teenagers, or die before their 21st birthday. They think they have this whole life ahead of them, and they work their fingers to the bone on jobs that they don't like, and never make that jump. And people plan and plan and plan for the future. And I'm going to throw one of my subscribers out there, my boomer up in Boston. You know, he's looking at the dollars of what he can make by staying in Boston instead of coming to Arkansas. But he doesn't know. Another year of headaches and everything like that could be a year that something could happen health-wise, something could happen financially-wise, something could happen to a numerous amount of things. Housing market, jobs, you never know what's going to happen. And he's got his plans set to move to Arkansas to follow in Johnny's footsteps. planning another year out. As everybody saw with me, after I got to the point of fed up with people in Colorado and all the drama and heartache and everything I went through out there, I chose overnight, hopped in the rental car, drove out to West Virginia after I figured out I couldn't go to Alaska or Montana because of the animals I have. And then decided against upstate New York because I decided I wanted to get away from the feet and feet and feet of snow. I've lived that lifestyle in Colorado for the last 14 years. I lived in Colorado Springs, lived in south side of Cotopaxi. I lived on the north side of Cotopaxi, and I'm just done with all that snow. Yes, we still get some cold here, but that is fine because this is the middle ground. Because if I went to Alabama or Florida or Texas, it's too hot. Arkansas gets up in the 90s, which is plenty hot for the summers with a little bit of humidity they have. And that's my choices. You know, I made the choice to move, and like everybody saw, I uprooted and I basically moved overnight. Now, yes, it was a lot of trips. I still have several more trips back to Colorado to tear down the pig pen, to get my stuff out of storage, to get rest of the ranch cleaned up, and the little bit of T-posts and stuff scattered throughout, get all that picked up and brought out. So I still have more trips, but I made that decision. I uprooted, grabbed my stuff, grabbed my animals, and I was gone. And I didn't plan out a 1-year plan, 2-year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan, because although I am an alien, and like I tell everybody, I'll be here for 200 years, been saying that since I was a child. People don't believe me. I can't prove it to them because not even their children or grandkids would know, because I'll outlive them all. But humans wise, if I was a human, you know, I might not be here in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. You know, I might be bound to a wheelchair. I might be bedridden. You never know what could happen in all those years, or even tomorrow. You know, I could get in a major wreck here on the highway, but I lived the life I wanted to live. I didn't live a life that made me depressed, made me sad, and things like that. Well, that's the best part, Sandra. You don't have to drink and smoke. You know, like they say with drug dealers, don't get high on your own supply. So by you not drinking and smoking, you're making the money on that booze and cigarettes and cigars you sell. So that's the best way to go. So we all make our own choices. We all have our own regrets. I have plenty of regrets. And people say, you know, you don't want to have regrets. Well, guess what? I don't know anybody that has lived life without a single regret, because there's always bad decisions you made that right there is a regret, because you're like, if I didn't do that, I would be here. If I made this decision to do this, I would be there. You never know what decisions take you where. If I didn't move to the north side of Cotopaxi, I was completely happy on the south side of Cotopaxi. But I made the choice that I wanted to get into animals with the forcing of my neighbor telling me to call a Craigslist ad to get chickens, because laying inside watching TV and playing video games every day wasn't healthy for me. That started my trend of getting animals ever since my neighbor had me do that. And it was a great decision. You know, I'm a lot happier. Now I do have a $3,000 a month expense, or $4,000 a month expenses on a $3,000 a month income. So I'm overextended, but like I said, that's what they made loans for. If you want to homestead, if you want to get animals, if you want to go retire on a beach, it's all going to cost you money. So if you're one of these people that don't want to go into debt and you want to be debt free, most likely that will not happen to get you where you want to be. Now, yes, people the homesteading page on Facebook, a lot of them put up things that they are finally debt free. They saved, they scrimped, they did whatever they had to do to get out of debt, which is a good thing. You know, it's good not to be in debt because then you don't have those payments over your head. But for how many years did it take those people to get out of debt? How many times did they struggle to put food on the table for their family? How many jobs and hours and physical labor and mental labor went into getting them out of debt just to be out of debt? You know, when you die, and that's my philosophy, when you die, that debt doesn't follow you. Now, yes, it could be put on your children or your family or something like that, which could be bad. But I look at it this way. The planet was created for free, so who has the determination to charge you for it? And that's how I live my life. You know, I do pay my bills. I'm not behind in any of my bills. My credit cards I pay off every month, so that my only interest are my loans, which my loan interest rates are low. So I'm not worried about a couple $100 a month in interest payments. But that's how it is. You know, I'm $160,000 in debt. If I leave this planet tomorrow, if I find my spaceship and go back to Mars, that debt is here on planet Earth until Elon Musk figures out a way to get everybody to Mars. And it looks like it's getting closer and closer to that time, but it hasn't happened yet. So that is what I think of life and how I do everything else. So you guys can chime in if you want to chime in, because I have a long way of driving. I still probably have an hour, maybe hour and a half of driving. But a couple things on the homesteading front that people are lied to about, and what we're conditioned about in the homesteading area is, one, homesteading is not cheap. Animals are not cheap. Gardens are not cheap. If you homestead, you will work more than if you have a 9-to-5 job. If you want luxuries, if you want the cheapest vegetables and meat and everything else, then get you a 9-to-5 job and buy all your produce, all your meat from Walmart or a big box chain. That's going to be your cheapest. Now, is that going to be the healthiest? No. But if you grow organics on your property, you will spend 10 times, easy 10 times, what it costs in the store. If you figure in labor, if you have to bring soil in, if you have to buy seeds, the water for your watering bill, electric from your electric bill, if you have grow lights, fencing material to keep deer and other animals away, let alone all the time and effort you do put into some of your garden that you lose to bugs, or a rabbit that gets through, or a squirrel that gets in. So homesteading is not cheap. Homesteading is not for everybody. Like I said, right now, what I'm doing, I'm rebuilding the homestead again. I had just got my flower gardens in at the ranch in Colorado, so I'll have to do that all over again. The good thing, like I said, about Arkansas is I moved to a place that has better weather. The bamboo that I was looking at growing in Colorado, I just did the research when I ordered the purple top turnip, the radish, the pea, and then yesterday I picked up a bag of clover seed. I researched bamboo again for my area in Arkansas. In Colorado, I'm going to order Bassetti, because Bassetti is good for feeding the animals. For those of you that don't know, animals can eat bamboo. High in nutrients because the roots go deep, and it can produce a lot of food over time. But I'll be getting Bassetti, and in Colorado at the 4A zone, planting zone that I was in Colorado, they told me that bamboo would get 6, possibly up to 8 feet tall. Here in Arkansas, because now I'm a 7A into 7B mix, I am looking at 34 feet for the same bamboo. So that just goes to show how much more food I can grow for the animals, how large of gardens I can create, and eventually I want to build a life cycle, because another conception of homesteading is you can be independent, and you'll never be independent, like I've talked about before, unless you can get metals off of your property and you can blacksmith that metal into shovels and create handles and screws and nails and everything else. You're gonna have to go to a store, just like the 1800s when the people had general stores. Some people would have eggs, some people would have butter. They take it, exchange it for what they needed. They couldn't do everything themselves, especially if you're single like me and you do everything yourself. You don't have time to do everything, and that's why I don't have animals in small pens, because I don't want to have a bunch of small paddocks to clean out and barns to clean out and go to each pen to feed the animals. All the animals have a basis of hay that they can eat at any time. All the animals get a 50-50 protein molasses sweet feed mix every day. And then, of course, like everybody saw, once a week they get buckets of carrots, buckets of apples, and a couple containers of pumpkin seeds for deworming purposes, along with the diatomaceous earth, the salt, and mineral blocks. But once again, that comes back to our life, our choices, and what we choose to do. You know, some people like to have small paddocks. Some people like to have barns. Some people like to have regimented diets and everything else. You know, it's all in what we want to do, all in how we want to spend our time. Same thing with our choices in money. Do we buy a bunch of alcohol all the time and be drunk because we don't like life, or that's how we condition ourselves to be able to survive in this life and live this life without, God forbid, doing something stupid? Which, for those of you that are new and want to see a downside of my life back years ago, I have a suicide video out there, and anybody that you know that's fighting, you should have them watch that video to try to bring them a little bit of mental strength and let them see that they're not the only one that has struggled in life and done all that. But for those that don't drink alcohol, we yell at those that buy alcohol because we don't think they should spend the money on alcohol. Same thing with drugs, same thing with the lottery tickets, same thing with gambling, same thing with people spending $6 on Starbucks coffee. Everybody has an addiction. Everybody will make their choice on where they want to spend their money, what they want to work their life for, and where they want to end up and be at. I mean, look at me. I have an addiction. I have a Coke addiction that some people don't know about. It is called Coca-Cola. One of my subscribers years ago, for those of you that followed me from the beginning, saw we did a math thing and calculated what I was spending on Coke, and I think it was either 4 or 8 years I spent $30-some thousand buying Coke, because I drink 9 of these bottles a day. And of course everybody says, oh, that's not healthy for you, but look at me. I do a lot more than a lot of other people. My family's all sick, lactose intolerant, diabetes, all that type of stuff. Not me. I'm an alien. I stay healthy. But I also had another addiction, my animal addiction. I have a lot of animals. I spend, like I talked about yesterday in one of the live streams, I spend $1,200 a month just in sweet feed. Now, I didn't clarify that to everybody because I don't buy my hay from the feed store. So I actually spend a lot more money. And that's actually where I'm going right now, to Kansas, to get hay, because in my area there is no hay. I tried to order a semi-load of hay out of Little Rock, Arkansas, and the guy kept saying he was coming. Then he's sick, then he's behind, and just not reliable people. So I'm going to Kansas to get my hay, which is not cost efficient. I could get hay here in Missouri or another part of Arkansas. But my neighbors Dan and Linda from Colorado, that you guys know about from earlier when they were my neighbors back in Southside Dakota Backseat, they live in Kansas. So their neighbor is a hay guy. It may cost me twice as much to come get hay in Kansas, but I'll be able to take a hot shower at their house. I'm going to have a meal with them, probably watch a movie with them, spend a little bit of time, and then I'll be going back to Arkansas. So once again, that's my choice as well. I could save money, but my life's not about nickel and diming everything. I was at that point growing up. I was going to be a millionaire by 18. Never made that goal, but that was my thing. I wanted dollars. I wanted all the money in the world because money was going to make me happy. And yes, money does a lot of things that make you happy. I mean, $14,000 camel, you know, Cleopatra, she's pain in the butt. She makes me happy. Without $14,000, I wouldn't have Cleopatra. But money's not everything. I mean, if I had all the money in the world right now, I would have a house and everything to live in. If I did that, I'd probably be spending more time inside. I would be spending more time on the computer, which would be bad. However, I made choice last night to stay up till 3 o'clock this morning, so I didn't get much sleep last night before this long drive. But I went ahead and edited 3 YouTube videos from early January up through January. So I had 3 videos coming out. I'll release one tomorrow, I'll release one the next day, and the following day. And I'll try, not promising, I'll try to do some more video editing, and I still got to make some videos, and try to get back to 1 video a day, 7 videos a week like I used to way back in the day. And actually I used to have 3 videos a day, 3 short videos. But I went ahead, I redid the front of my video. I didn't like the music that I had, so I changed the music out, and everybody knows I'm not a computer guru. So just to change out the music, I had to basically redo the whole clip and everything, which took me hours to make a 15-second intro clip because I am not good with computers. And then the end of the video, for those of you that don't always watch the end of the video, which a lot of people probably won't see this part already, edited videos will have the music at the end along with pictures that I have set up. So be the same pictures, so once you see it once, you don't have to watch it again unless you just enjoy seeing the animals and me and the music. So that's what I got going on. And like I said, I'm on my way to Kansas, pick up hay, have lunch, dinner, whatever, get hay, go back, stay warm, and snuggle up. And that is my life. And that is the choices I have made, where I'm at in life, and what you guys should consider. And I can't harp on it enough. If you are not happy, do something about it. I know everybody's like, I got bills to pay, I got this to do. If you gotta get a loan, if you've gotta stand on the corner and let people pay you to leave like they do to me. Nobody wants me on the corner, so they pay me a nickel to leave. I'll go up there 20 times a day to get those nickels. But just do whatever you can. Find that happiness, find that tranquility, the peace, some silence in a world of loud noises and confusion, especially nowadays with everything going on. I mean, there's nothing better than to be happy in life and bring happiness to others. And that brings me actually to another point, and that is don't worry about what people think. Don't worry about what people say. I used to wear pinstripe suits all the time, gold jewelry. I come from part of Italian family, so I had uncles that wore a bunch of jewelry, and I don't live that lifestyle no more. You don't see me in suits. You see me in my hoodies and my camo pants all the time. Don't care what I look like anymore. People either accept me as I am or they don't. People called me stupid in my family for becoming homeless in 2011 and not moving back east with other family members. And I don't know. You know, I just choose my path in life. It's the path that, yes, I've had some knocks on the head. I've had some depression times. But you got to look at the sky, because when you're at the ground, the sky's the limit. You can't go any farther when you're at the ground. And people will try to drag you down. I've had people try to drag my channel down. If you look at the thumbs down in the very, very beginning, never had any thumbs down. And then I started getting 1 thumbs down all the time. Then 2 thumbs down all the time. 3 thumbs down all the time. And I don't even know what I have anymore. Just like I said yesterday, somebody had told me I hit 3,000 subscribers. I had no idea. I don't tell everybody all the time to share the channel. Now on the edited videos, I did put that on text at the end, the thumbs up, comment, stuff like that, because I do appreciate it. It helps me make a little bit of money. But I don't harp that in all my videos. I don't make videos saying this and that, and I don't script my videos. Definitely while I'm driving, I'm not reading a script or a screen or anything like that, or I don't trip purposely to make it more entertaining. I'm either entertaining or I'm not entertaining. However, I have thought about doing some type of weird hairdo thing like I did when I first started my channel, with that firewood video, why I won't buy a wood chipper or wood splitter, why I won't chop wood or something like that. I forget what the title is, but that is my viral video, and it is actually almost to 600,000 views, which is outrageous because I only had 3,000 subscribers. So to have video over 600 or over 500,000 views is amazing, let alone almost up to 600,000 views. And that video, I will tell you, that is my money making video. With that weird hairdo, because everybody has to comment on the hairdo in the video, and that has brought me in, I think, almost $1,200 or almost $1,400, something like that. And that got a lot of thumbs up, a lot of thumbs down, a lot of comments, and that's where YouTube people make their money, let alone if you watch the commercials. For those of you that don't know, if you skip a commercial, that YouTube subscriber gets a penny. If you watch the whole commercial, they get 5 cents. So it's 5 times the amount of money, and those nickels add up compared to pennies. I mean, pennies add up, but nickels add up a lot quicker. And for those of you that don't know, people on YouTube can make serious money. Some of the richest jobs out there are YouTube channels. A lot of the top, I think, 100 people make $25 million a year or more, something like that. It's crazy. There's some boy that shows toys, and he makes like 30 or 40 million dollars a year. He's 7 or 8 years old now. It's outrageous what you can make on YouTube. But if you look at stuff that's on TV nowadays and movies nowadays, you know, a lot of it's just garbage. So people want to come and see what people are doing with their lives and things like that. And seeing journeys of aliens with camels and kangaroos and emus, oh my. And I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that's part of the journey. I appreciate everybody that sends Christmas cards and notes and letters and pen pal stuff and plastic camels and makes coat racks with their own 2 hands. That means a lot more to me than anything else. For those of you that watch the how you can help video, which I don't talk about that a lot either. I really prefer handwritten notes or handmade figurines or handmade projects like a coat rack, things like that, that somebody makes from their heart, because that means a lot more than going to the store and buying something. I mean, that same thing with Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday. I don't buy gifts. I don't do the gift exchange with people. And the reason I don't is because it's all commercialized. And Christmas is my favorite holiday for the feeling of being merry, being jolly. Christmas movies that bring me happiness, the Christmas lights I love, and everything like that. And gifts of that nature are the best, and that's what we should get back to. You know, make somebody a Christmas ornament, make them a Christmas book, something like that, make them a statue out of wood or marble, whatever you tinker in, because that means a lot more, because that came from your heart, your own two hands, than from your pocketbook. It's not about money. It's not about, it really isn't. It's not about money like everybody is taught. You know, growing up, we're taught you gotta have a 2-story house, white picket fence, a family, 2 cars, a big career, make all this money, 6-figure bank account. Now it's $1 million bank account. Now it's getting to $1 billion bank account. And people do that their whole lives. They retire at 70, 80 years old now. They're sick. Their body's used up. And they got nothing to do but roll over and die, basically. You can't go hop on a camel and get bear hugs. You can't go on hikes with your goats. You can't go to the beach and go kayaking. You can't go hike mountains. You can't do all the different things you can when you're younger. And that's what we need to do. We need to find happiness. Take that leap. Get off the pot. Get away from the job, unless the job is what you love. When I had my landscaping job, my landscaping company, my moving company, I enjoyed it. Doing things with my own 2 hands. So that wasn't really work for me. However, when I was working 18 hours a day, that was not good. So I think that's about it. So if anybody else has anything, if not, I am headed off, because I think I'm getting close to the point where I'm going to need my GPS, because I'm not sure exactly what exit I get off of. And I'm going to be on my way. And I hope everybody has a great day. I hope you guys find your true happiness, find that inner peace. Make that decision. Random decisions, that's the best decision. What did you want to be when you grew up? What are you now? What do you still want to be? What are you now? Make that random decision to jump. Can't get no worse than homelessness. I've been there. For those of you that have heard my stories before, I lost everything. 2011, I became homeless. I slept in a tarp tent, got deathly ill. My neighbor, Dan and Linda, who I'm going to go see, they took me in. They saved me. And like I said, it's our choices, our regrets, our decisions. Don't make that decision or choice in life to have another regret, because by you making that choice of staying at that job, staying in that city, staying wherever you are that's not bringing you happiness, that's going to be your regret. How many people do you know that are older that they die on their deathbed and they're disappointed in their life? They're not happy. I mean, a lot of old people I know tell me, oh, I wish I would have done something like you're doing. I wish I would have made a different decision. Don't make your choices, your decisions, your life decisions, your goals now turn into regrets later. That's the worst thing possible. Make those decisions. Find that happiness. Find that inner peace. Find that place that you need to be. Find that place that accepts you. like St. Joe has accepted me. And be happy in life. Do what you want to do. And with that, I hope you guys made that decision, that right decision, and those regrets aren't going to be there. With that, have a great day. I'll talk to you guys on the next video. Thank you for being a part of this journey.